Nicole, thank you for joining me on GV Talks.
Thanks for having me.
How has your day been?
Busy. Yeah, busy but good.
Yeah. You're the first sibling that I've had on. I had your sister on, obviously.
Yeah.
And when I asked her who locally inspires her, she mentioned you. Did you listen to that episode?
I did, yeah. She dubbed me in for that one.
What did she say about the experience?
She said it was good, that she was really nervous.
Yeah.
But it came across fine, so she did well.
Yeah, no, she did really well. I didn't mention this to her. We had a redo. So we were a couple of minutes in and she's like, can we just start again? And I was like, yeah, no worries. But probably half the people that I've had on have done the exact same thing. It's kind of like they don't understand what's happening straight away and they're like, oh, so that's how it works. Can we just do it again now that I know how it works?
Yeah, okay. I can imagine that happening, yeah. Hopefully we don't do that.
Hopefully. Do you want to let the Shepparton locals know who they're listening to?
Yeah, so I'm Nicole Morse. I'm 23, grew up in Tatura, and I've started Regional Rummage, so it's a local preloved clothing market that's happening in about 2 weeks now. So I studied fashion in Melbourne, and it's sort of led me onto this path.
What do you do to study fashion?
So it's at RMIT in Melbourne. The degree I did was a Bachelor of Fashion Merchandising, so it's basically a business degree centred around fashion. Yeah. Did
you move to Melbourne for that?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, wow. So what made you do that?
I don't know. I always had a love for fashion. And then, I don't know, it was sort of, in high school, it was tossing up between graphic design and fashion, or textiles, as it was called. And then, sort of VCE, I decided I liked textiles more, and then after year 12, I was sort of tossing up between fashion design and fashion business, and I sort of figured that there was more jobs on the business side, whereas design's quite cutthroat, and the fashion business skills are quite transferable into any sort of business. So yeah, I sort of went down that route, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, so what specifically do you
do?
Because when somebody says fashion to me, I think runways.
No.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what the design course would ultimately lead you to.
Yeah.
But the business side of it is more working in the head office of companies and, doing the buying for them. So making sure that they have the right stock and what's on trend and all that. There's planning, so making sure that all your orders are arriving on time. They've got time to be received in by the warehouse and they're ready up online at the right time for the customers to purchase, and that you never run out of stock of those lines that are constantly selling. And then there's like marketing as well, logistics. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So I can see what you mean by it transfers over to a lot of things. It kind of seems like you're running the show, you learn a little bit of every skill.
Yeah, pretty much. It was, a lot of transferable skills. So, pretty much any head office you could work in, any product-based head office. And then, there's also just skills like Excel and all that sort of stuff that you don't learn in high school.
Yeah. How many years of study?
It was 3. So you do the associate degree, which is 2 years, and then you have to apply into the bachelor post-grad. So you can't go straight into the bachelor, but that's only 1 extra year on top. So 3 years. Yeah.
Did you have trouble finding a job after you got your qualification?
No, I was quite lucky. Shout out to my friend Tash. She was working at the head office. So she'd done the 2 years, didn't go on to do the bachelor, and she'd got a job where she was working in store, and they had an opening in the head office. So then when I had graduated my bachelor, they were hiring just in an e-commerce position, like literally warehouse pickpacking.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take it. I think I'd applied for 3 jobs at that stage. Like I was only just beginning to apply at the end of my uni year. And I got the job, and working with her was heaps of fun, and sort of worked my way up in there. And then, July this year I moved to Catch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. What's it like working at Catch?
It's awesome.
It seems like it would be big business. Is it big business, or is it kind of laid back?
It's sort of in a bit of a changeover period at the moment. So they got bought out by Wesfarmers about a year ago. And so it's still like everyone's like super relaxed. Like I have not met one person I haven't got along with yet, even though it's all been online. It's just, I don't know, everyone's just so lovely and so chilled, and really good opportunities in there as well. Like I've had a great mentor this whole time, and
Is it like, because I always tell people that I have mentors, and I do, but it's not like a formal agreement where you're my mentor, like I come and ask you to be my mentor. It's just people who I wish to emulate.
Yeah,
like they're the people that I want to become.
Yeah.
Like I would love if I grew into that man or that person.
Yeah.
But it was never like, you're my mentor.
Yeah.
Is that kind of your situation, or do you literally get paired up with someone and they're like, I'm going to teach you everything?
Yeah, I literally got paired up with someone. So it was probably 2 months, 3 months into being there, and my manager, we had a chat, and he was like, oh, so what do you want to go into eventually? And I was like, oh, I'd love to go into planning. And he was like, oh, you know what we can do? We can set you up with one of the planning managers. And he was like in our team, so we're split up into 3 teams.
Yeah.
And he was the planning manager for our team. And I got paired up with him, and we had, I think it was an hour or 2 hours a week every Friday.
That's
we would have a call, and he'd go through sort of what he does. And then at the start of this year I went into a inventory analyst role, which is sort of the stepping stone into planning.
What draws you to planning?
I like the numbers. Bit nerdy of me, but I like that everything makes sense. It's all methodical. So you've got your stock turns, and you've got your rate of sale, and your target weeks coverage. So it's just entering those numbers and making sure that they all add up and they're all correct for what you want. And it all just makes sense, I guess. Yeah.
Do the people in that role turn over often?
In the planning role or in my current role?
In the planning role.
In the planning role. I actually don't know, because I've only been there for 6 months.
Okay.
I think there's been, I don't know, maybe 1 has left in the time that I've been there, but
yeah,
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, doesn't matter. I was just intrigued. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and growing up in Tatura?
Yeah. I went to TAP Primary as a kid. We actually moved up here, I was in grade 2. I can't remember what year that was. So we moved from Mount Evelyn near Lilydale. And then, so my dad was working in Tatura, so that's why we moved up. And I went to primary school there. It was pretty awesome. We're on a 40-acre hobby farm. Can't really call it a farm. It's just, I don't know. I just love the spirit and the community spirit, and just the open space. I love.
Yeah. What is the difference between Tatura and Shepparton?
I honestly feel like it's a huge difference.
People say Tatura is so nice and relaxed.
I love it.
Is that how you describe it?
Yeah.
Well, how would you describe Shepparton? Chaotic.
Oh, well, I mean, I live in Melbourne during the week, so I wouldn't really describe Shepparton as chaotic, but No, I don't know. I like the smaller community, the one main street, the like, couple of 100 meters and you're out of town. Like, I just like that, whereas Shep's quite built in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that you'll end up in Tatura?
100%. I hope so. I really hope so. I always say that I would live here if I could. If there was a job that I enjoyed, I would move up here in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you do your job online?
I could. I am currently been working from home for the last, since July, since I started. But yeah, we're starting to transition back into the workplace. There's just a few things, like some important meetings and stuff that's best to be there in person, especially like if you're meeting suppliers and stuff. So yeah. Ideally I would like to work from home up here, but yeah.
Do you have any other hobbies?
I mean, I like sewing.
Why did you laugh at that?
No, you just looked at me funny.
Yeah.
I like sewing. I don't really know. I feel like all my time has been consumed lately working and doing this regional rummage stuff that I haven't really had much time to do hobbies.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like to just chill out and watch TV and, I don't know, just go for a drive and go to wherever and just chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, would you say you're adventurous like your sister?
She's definitely more adventurous than me.
Yeah.
I'm more, I like to organise things, whereas she is more carefree and would just go at the drop of a hat, whereas I would like to plan where I'm going and how long it's going to take and all that sort of stuff, whereas she'll summit a mountain at sunset, so...
Yeah. I've been keeping up to date with some of her adventures and it looks like a blast, I reckon.
Yeah. No, she's absolutely killing it. Yeah.
How did Regional Rummage come to life? Like, where did that idea start?
I always laugh at this one because there's no real pinpoint of it happening. I sort of had the idea in my head for a few years and I guess I never believed in myself enough to make it happen, or just didn't really feel like I had the time to make it happen. And then, start of last year, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to make it happen. I'd thought of a name for it, I think 6 months before. I'd thought of Regional Rummage and I was like, no, you know what, just do it. Like, just go for it. And yeah.
So what was the initial idea and how has it changed?
So I think like the very, very early stages of it, it was literally just going to be a clothing swap with me and my friends in my backyard. And then I think I tried to organise that and we were all just too busy and schedules didn't meet up and all that. So that never ended up happening. And then...
Why did you want to do that?
Well, I just loved, like, sort of last year of high school, I started loving op shopping. I remember it was this black denim jacket that I'd found in Melbourne. It was just a cotton on one, like no amazing brand or whatever, but it was just something that I'd been wanting for ages. And I found it for $4 at the op shop. And I remember walking out of there and I was like, why do I not do this more often? And sort of from then on, it just, I just started op shopping more often. And then, it sort of just evolved into, I'd start sharing it on like my social media, like, oh, I got this dress for $5, how awesome is it? And heaps of people would respond to me and be like, oh my God, that's amazing. And I found this on the weekend. And oh, how good is that op shop? And it's sort of just like everything sort of just came together. And I was like, you know what, there's all these opportunities in Melbourne to sell your clothes, to go to markets. People in the GV love markets.
Yeah.
but there's no opportunity to sell your clothes. If you want to sell your clothes, you can try Facebook Marketplace, but honestly, the time it takes to take photos of it all and then upload it and then reply to everyone interested in it and then probably make 1 or 2 sales out of 20 items.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time. And I was like, let's just do a market. People can buy a stall 4 hours in and out, and hopefully you've sold a fair bit of stuff.
Yeah. So what is it now? Like, do you want to tell people what they have to look forward to and when it is and
so
what's going to be there?
So it's called Regional Rummage. It's going to be in Tatura on the 21st of Feb. So it's open to the public from 10 to 2. And then we've got 72 stalls currently sold. So it's going to be indoor and outdoor. I can't remember what I've said.
Is this your first market?
It is my first market. So the first one... So this one was scheduled to happen mid-April 2020, which was lockdown.
Yes.
So we had to postpone. That then went on to November. We were trying to be conservative enough not to have to postpone again on our customers. Sorry, my customers. And then we were so close to having that happen. It was sort of the end of the whole stage 3, 4, 3 lockdown.
Yeah.
But it couldn't happen well enough with the capacity limits inside. So, because we had 40 stalls inside, so that's 40 people manning the stalls.
Mm-hmm.
And then we could only let, I think it was another 40 people in to shop. So it didn't really make sense to have stall holders come on the day, and in that time frame they're probably not going to sell as much as what they would if we were able to have more people through. So made the decision to postpone again, which was pretty heartbreaking, to be honest. And then we postponed to Feb, and it's all looking great so far. It's 2 weeks away, so.
How dampened were your spirits after it got postponed for the second time, or the first time even? Did you think, nah, screw it, this is too much time and energy?
No, I never said screw it. I was like, I'm making this happen. But look, to be honest, I'm pretty sure both times I turned my phone off and dug into a tub of ice cream. I was just like, no, I don't want to. I was terrified about people getting sick of it and like thinking that it's not a proper business, which is pretty silly of me because like it was out of my control.
Yes, it was a situation.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And all the support I received was absolutely amazing. Like in that whole year that we've been postponed, I think I've only had 5 people pull out.
Yeah, wow.
In that whole time. So, it's...
Have you had any support to organise this?
I have. Like, it's mainly been me, but, like, my best friend Brie, she's amazing. Every time I doubt myself, I send her a message and she'll be like, no, you've got this. Or if I'm choosing up between 2 options, she'll help me out, and appreciate her. My sister is also awesome. And then there's just like my mom, my dad, my whole family basically are amazing. Corey as well. And then, just like family friends as well. So we're actually making tote bags to sell at the market. The artwork on the bags has been done by Chloe Petts. She's someone I went to school with, and she designed the artwork, and then we've hand stamped it onto bags. And I had some of my mum's friends. I've sort of grown up with them, like they're pretty much family to me.
Yeah.
They all came around, yesterday, and helped me sew the bags. for a few hours. Like, it's just, yeah.
It's crazy how willing people are to help.
I know. I'm honestly so lucky. So lucky to have great people around me.
And they don't want anything in return. It's amazing.
No.
What does Chloe put on the bags? I've seen some of her artwork, and it's always a bit unique, but I like it.
Yeah.
But I when you said that, I couldn't envision what it could have been.
So, I commissioned her for it. So it's a like a line drawing of a bunch of cotton. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's fitting to what's going on.
Yeah.
What goes into planning this specifically? Like, did you have to sort anything out with the council?
So it's a private venue,
Mm-hmm.
so council aren't involved as much as if it were a council venue. But yeah, obviously they're over it. And yeah, just like insurances, and we've got Chowtown, the food truck. They're going to be there. Fast Brew Coffee, another Tatura business. She's going to be there as well. There's been a lot. It's been a huge learning curve for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got a charity you're donating the entry fee to?
Yeah.
So how much is it to get in, and what charity is it?
So it's just a gold coin donation on the door. So we'll just be collecting that as you come in. And we haven't actually chosen the charity yet. Probably going to do an Instagram poll and have 4 charities to choose from, and get our followers to choose. But yeah, it will be a local GB charity for sure.
Yeah. Whereabouts is the location? What address?
Victory Hall in Tatura, so it's 75 to 81 Hogan Street.
Yeah.
So it's just near Sacred Heart.
Yeah. Is that a big venue?
How
many people do you reckon are in there?
It's a really funny story because when my mum and I went location hunting, like Feb last year, we were looking at all these places and all around town, and we came to Tat, and we walked into the hall, and I remember looking in there and I was like, you know what, if I sell this out, I'm going to be happy with myself. Like, literally just the main hall. I think you can fit, I think we've got 38 stalls in the main hall.
Yeah.
No, 28. And then, then I had a pre-sale link for the market, and I think 40 people had signed up for the pre-sale link. And I was like, oh God, like that's the hall.
Yeah.
And then we had the option of hiring the smaller hall in there as well, which fits another, I don't know, my maths is really off right now, but it's about another 15, I think, stalls in there. And we were like, all right, cool. So we might sell out that second hall as well, maybe, maybe. And then, I launched it, and I think I'd sold out inside, I can't remember how long it was, but it was before we had to postpone anyway.
Yeah.
And then, we opened up outdoor. Me and Mum ran down to the hall and measured up outside to see what we could fit out there. And then, so now it's the big hall, the smaller hall, and probably 80% of the basketball court is covered.
Wow.
In stores.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
People love clothes.
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem with when I go to the Salvos, and it's rarely, but I have.
Yeah.
And I'll look through the clothes, but there's the stores are too small. Do you know? There's not enough there, and I think there's a little community of people who go and get the good stuff.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Yeah.
Would that be accurate?
Yeah. A lot of people go early.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They go early, and then the other boundary I find is that they're not open quite often. They're generally open till 5 p.m. or 5:30, and then on weekends they might be open till 12 or 3. on Saturday, and then they're not open Sunday. So that was another thing, sort of just bringing access to pre-loved clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is going to be huge.
I hope so.
How does that make you feel? Like, do you feel overwhelmed, excited, all the above? What?
Yeah, pretty much all of the above. I haven't really had time to sit back and take it all in. I feel like I'm very go with it all at the moment, and so I'm sort of looking forward to the day being there and just taking it all in.
Do you reckon that's going to be a stressful day or a surreal sort of feeling that you've managed to pull it off? Surely once everyone gets there, it's going to be...
Yeah, I think it's going to run pretty smoothly. I don't think I'll be too busy. I'm hoping that I have time to shop. But yeah, I think it'll just be a moment standing there and just being like, wow, I did this.
Yeah. And like the community's going to love it as well. There's so many cool things about it.
Yeah.
Do you have to like manage the stalls, like manage the people, or?
So I'll be allocating their stalls on the day, so we'll have them marked up and give them a number, and they'll sort of go set up. There's a few hired items, so they had the option to hire a table or a rail. So if they've done that, we'll set that up, but that'll all be done the day before. So yeah, there shouldn't be too much to do, I don't think. I'll be running around for sure, but yeah, I think it'll be pretty smooth.
Yeah. How does it work as a business? Like, are you making profit off this?
Everyone loves this question. No, I'm not off this first one. I do hope for it to become something that I can make money off and make a living from.
Yeah.
I would love to do this full time if I could. Like, it is just, I love it. And it hasn't even been the market yet. But no, for this first one, no profit. There's a lot of costs involved with it behind the scenes. And then, yeah, the only money that will be profit as such is the donation that we're going to give to charity. So.
Yeah. Do you think people think you deserve to make a profit off doing something like this? Do you think they understand the work that goes into it?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I definitely underestimated it myself. But look, I think I'm a small business. Like, I think like anyone that owns a small business deserves to make profit. And if it's something that you're passionate about and something that you want to do full time, I think that for sure, like, make a profit. Like, you need to live.
Why do you think you would love that more than a career with a big company?
Means I can live here.
And be your own boss?
Be my own boss.
Make a difference in a small community?
Yeah.
There's lots of things.
And like, it's that whole community spirit, the trying to do better for the environment and all that sort of stuff that just, you know, you're not contributing to the waste that's being made and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Do you want to speak on the overproduction of clothes?
Yeah, so...
Like, do you know numbers on that?
Yeah, my favourite one that, if anyone else has heard me talk, they'll probably know this one, but 6,000 kilos of clothing is put into landfill every 10 minutes in Australia.
Whoa. Within
Australia. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So what does that come down to? Like us purchasing more clothes or us throwing stuff out more often, or? Yeah. So,
oh gosh, I posted a quote the other day and it was, I think we're buying, it was something along the lines, numbers might not be 100%, but very close. We're buying pretty much double what we were 20 years ago, I think, and throwing out twice as much.
Why?
Marketing. Consumerism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think like yeah, it's probably a good problem to have though. You prefer to have too much clothes than not enough.
Yeah, I mean, we need to be clothed.
Yeah.
But like,
how should people get rid of the clothes?
so either donate them, sell them to someone that will wear them again. If they're beyond
Yeah.
repair, even make sure you repair your clothes if it's got a hole. Really easy to fix up. Just learn some basic sewing skills. And then, yeah, if it's beyond repair, you can take them to H&M and Zara, which I don't necessarily recommend shopping at, but they have a good recycling program that you can take, basically, even if it's just looking like fabric at this stage, with like holes all over it, you can take it there, and then they either recycle it into new garments, or they sort of give it to the automotive industry to use as rags, or like sort of just sort it out from there. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you shop there?
There's a lot of overproduction in those companies. Look, every now and then I'll shop there. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not perfect. But I wouldn't go and buy a lot of stuff there. They're fast fashion. They have really high stock turnover of their clothing, and they really push it on people to keep constantly buying. And then when that happens, you're buying things that you don't need and that you might get one wear out of. And then it just sits in your wardrobe, or it ends up in landfill if you don't recycle, donate.
Did you become passionate about this aspect of fashion while you were studying it, or younger than that? Or
No, it's probably while I was studying. There was, I'm pretty sure the last 2 years, there was sustainability subjects within our course. And then I found an interest in it, but also I was not really broke, but I didn't have huge amounts of money to spend on clothing, so I was still buying into fast fashion. So I found it interesting, but sort of in my head I was like, well, to become more sustainable, I need to be buying these Australian made products that are $300 for a dress. I can't afford that, so I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But then the op shopping came in, and it was sort of like, okay, well, this is actually a way to be more sustainable and sort of add it, like just a small lifestyle change that can make a bit of difference if we all start doing it a little bit more.
There's this one scene from Coach Carter. Have you seen it?
No.
Haven't seen Coach Carter? Okay, anyway, you don't need to have seen it. He makes all these basketball players wear suit and tie on game day.
Yep.
Right, and the parents come to the meeting that he's having about all these new rules that he's put in place, and they're like, "Why do our kids have to wear suit and tie?" And and one of them says, "I don't even have a tie." And then the coach says, "There's a Goodwill just down the road. You can buy a tie for 50 cents."
Yep.
And then the parent yells out, "I'm not broke enough to shop at the Goodwill." Right? Do you think that there's a stigma about shopping at these places?
There is. It's definitely going away though. It's sort of becoming trendy to shop secondhand. Definitely more so in Melbourne, I find that there's more of that shift towards buying pre-loved is awesome. I find up here there's still a little bit of a stigma around secondhand clothing is outdated, and you never find anything good in op shops. But I mean, I found an Alex Perry evening gown for $1 up here in Shepparton. I found a $400 dress for $5 that I will genuinely wear.
Yeah.
So honestly, the op shops up here are so much better than in Melbourne. Yeah, so there is that stigma, but it is going away, and I hope to push it even further away with this market.
Do you think that there'll be people there selling vintage clothes? That seems very popular at the moment.
Yeah, I've got a few vintage resellers that I know about. Hooked Vintage, they're going to be there.
Yeah, great.
Lachlan, so there's him, and then there's also, I think there's one from Echuca. Yeah, there's a few others that I haven't heard of before the market that will be there.
Yeah. Are you a fan of that Macklemore song? Has to be asked.
I mean, it got a bit overplayed, but
You've spoke about some of your finds at the op shop, and I've seen some of your social media posts where you go on and try things on. How do people respond to those positively?
oh, they love it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, it's not stuff that I would wear, but I think it's an interesting and cool way to push what you're doing across the public.
Yeah. Well, it's it takes a long time. So what I do is I will go to the op shop on the weekend if I have time, and while I'm there, if I find anything that I like or that sort of sparks my interest that I think my followers would like, I take a photo of it and I share where it's at, what size it is, and how much it is, and a little description, but that's often pretty quick.
Yeah.
And yeah, then I upload it to my Instagram stories or sometimes Reels. And yeah, it sort of just gives people an opportunity, if they don't have time to sort through everything at the op shop, to be like, oh, there's this dress that Regional Rummage posted on Instagram that I really like. I know exactly where it is. I know the open hours. I'll just go there on my way home from work. I'll duck in, grab that, and then go. So it just makes it a bit quicker.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes me probably an hour and a half per store to go through. But yeah, I remember the first one I did, I had about probably 10 messages from people just being like, oh, I wanted that dress. And there was one particular dress. And yeah, someone had snapped it up, and I had about 3 people after message me, oh, I went to go get it, but it was gone.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, it's just awesome to see that, it's sort of giving people more of an opportunity and opening eyes to what's there.
Yeah. So what are your goals moving forward to make this your full-time job? What is that number one?
I mean, I know I said full-time before, but I'd probably more do it part-time. I don't know. I mean, I probably could make it full-time, but we'll see. Yeah, so goals will be to make it more frequently, which is obviously still a challenge with COVID still around. But I am hoping to do 4 or so within the next year, maybe more. But yeah, so I'll do it in the GV, but also hoping to travel around with it, around regional Victoria. So places like Bendigo, Echuca, Ballarat, yeah.
Yeah, great. I'm from Ballarat, and we had a trash and treasure. I don't know if that's what it was actually called, but that's what we referred to it as. And it's like what you are planning, people would go and buy a stall. Is there nothing like that here in Shepparton? At the showgrounds it usually was.
Yeah, I think there might be rotary ones, but the difference with my market is that it is purely clothing, footwear, accessories.
Yeah.
I didn't want any bric-a-brac. I wanted people to come, know what they're shopping for, and then be able to find it. I just think that, there's enough rotary markets around and stuff that, they're fun, but I wanted to create a specific event for fashion.
Yeah, great. Just one last time, do you want to summarise the event for us?
Yeah, cool. So it's called Regional Rummage. You can find us on Facebook or Instagram. There is a Facebook event that will remind you when it's coming up. And then, so it's on Feb 21st, 10 to 2 at the Victory Hall in Tatura. So that's just the one near Sacred Heart. So we've still got stalls available for purchase if anyone would like one. They're $15 and you can hire rails and tables to go with it. That's just on our website, www.regionalrummage.com.au. And I think that's about it.
Yeah, great. All right, last question, Nicole. Who locally inspires you?
I'm gonna have to say family and friends. Pretty standard, but they're awesome. Yeah, like I said before, I'm really lucky for who I've got around me, and yeah.
Great. Well, hopefully I'll make it down. What, 21st?
21st, yep. So not this weekend, next weekend, but
Cool.
this is
Is
not
it a
gonna go up
Saturday?
today. Sunday.
It's a Sunday.
Sunday.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, awesome. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.